What's your, I guess, like pecking order of like fandom? Is it like Celtics? Is it Sox?
Yeah. It goes. Edelman asked me this. It goes Celtics. It goes Patriots. It goes Red Sox. It goes Bruins.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an ascension, I guess, of cooler sports before the less cool. That's how I look at it.
I mean, I say it descends into whiteness.
Yeah, and it's hockey at the end.
I
can't hate on that
but
at
I like
all.
hockey, but it's at the end.
What if you had to, for your like Mount Rushmore of like Boston sports athletes?
Ooh.
You don't got to focus on one team. If you go overall Boston sports
4,
athletes. Yeah, the Mount Rushmore's got 4. It's tough
Bill
with Boston.
Russell, Mo Vaughn, because Mo Vaughn just meant a lot to Black Boston.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
of course.
And Pedro for beating up that old man on the Yankees. Hell yeah.
He went right at him and he took him down.
Hell yeah, Pedro.
I like that Mo Vaughn shout out for me. I went to Seton Hall, so he's a
Yeah.
Seton Hall alum. He's like one of the biggest names we got on that.
Yeah.
And for you, when you were growing up too, I mean, what was it like to be a Boston sports fan, and especially from like 2001 on to be in the city?
I mean, it was great to be winning, but also like you were hated. And I had moved out of the city, and I went to Atlanta to go to college, which is a very black city. So everybody hates the Patriots. No one likes like any of our teams. Like all of our teams, so like black Americans across the country just represent whiteness. So they're just kind of like, how could you even like these teams? And I'm like, because I'm from there. You know what I mean? But so it was like being the most hated, but it felt good because we were winning. So it was like,
Yeah.
who cares?
I was at, I bet, like a shock. I mean, going to Atlanta, getting the hate, and you're like, I'm from Dorchester, like I'm from Boston.
Yeah.
But like, I guess anyone that's not from here, they connect Boston with like, you know, the Fide look or like the Western look.
Wahlbergs,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They have one very specific image of the city in their mind for sure.
Were you able to make it to any of like the championship games, like whether you were growing up or like now that you're a comedian?
I went to a finals game last year. I didn't go to a championship game, but I went to like a finals game last year, or 2 actually. I might have went to like 2 or 3. I've been going to a lot more basketball and stuff in the last like 4 years when I got some money and a little bit of fame. And people started giving me tickets and stuff. That's how I ended up seeing hockey. But yeah, I've been making out to some games. I haven't been to like a championship like big game yet.
See, that's what I think. Like once, if you hit fandom, especially in Boston sports, you could actually afford the tickets to get in.
Yeah,
they're like outrageously priced now, so that's why I was asking that. I'm thinking on that.
Yeah,
the Patriots got to get back to a Super Bowl for you then.
Yeah, and then I could get some, free tickets.
There you go. Celtics are close for it.
Yeah, I think 5.
And you think 5? I think sweep.
5.
Now, I originally thought Mavs in 7, so I got to be candid. Yeah, but this Mavericks team sucks. And it shows how good the Celtics are.
I don't think sweep. I was worried, though. I was worried.
Game 2 got tight.
Game 2, I was like, we're gonna be okay. But they're playing right. To me, it's like the attitude and how they play.
Yeah.
That will tell the story. And I wasn't sure what kind of attitude they were gonna come in with. Because as we know, there are guys, so we know they can slack off later in the games, and sometimes they just don't come out with intensity. And you're like, are you guys here to win a championship, or what's happening here?
Yeah.
But they came out the gate right attitude, and then in game 2, I was like, let's see if they're consistent, because that's another thing. We've been kind of criticizing up and down through the season the consistency of that attitude. So I was like, how are they going to come out in game 2? That's going to tell me a lot. And then they came out with the same energy, and I was like, no, all right, we're going to be okay.
It was like game 1 when it got within 8. And like Luka had that smirk, you're like, all right, here we go. Like, come on, it's gonna be close. And then they just opened it up.
Yeah.
Game 2, they played bad. Like turnovers, couldn't shoot from 3.
Yeah.
We saw like the Drew Holiday, the Jaylen Brown effect of those guys holding it down.
That's what
the
those
team.
pieces are supposed to do. And that's exactly what you want to see, is like the team step up when it's time, and the right guys take the right shots in the right moments and do what they're supposed to do. And the utility players come out and be utilities when we need them to be. So it feels like everything's clicking. You don't want to jinx anything.
I know.
But it feels like everything's clicking.
I like that 5. Well, if it's a 5 call, then it's back at home.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to.
You're selfish.
5. Yeah.
Hey, get Sam J free tickets.
Right.
In 5. She's at the Garden.
This is just selfishness. It's absolutely.
I don't want to hate on anyone, but if you sit in courtside, I think I'd be better for Celtics fandom as a whole. There's like the courtside peeps. You like
but
watch
they need
it.
some real, I get what you're saying. They need some real energy down there.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like you watch Knicks games and like, yeah, it's Ben Stiller, but he brings a juice, and Spike Lee and Chris Rock. We need that at TD Garden.
Yeah.
What is it like though, living in the city now, like Boston sports fan, but also going from Boston to being in New York City?
I mean, I'm gonna be Boston wherever I go,
of course.
So I have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like watching the Knicks lose to the Pacers at a New York bar and laughing at them was a great time.
Just getting in their faces.
Yeah, I have a good time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You already know you're gonna be hated as a Boston sports fan, so it's like you might as well turn it all the way up to the max.
I like that. And you still wear your jerseys around the city and
course,
everything.
yeah,
Are they?
absolutely.
I haven't lived in New York City or like the area in Jersey in like years.
They're not like crazy about
Right?
stuff like that. We're more hung up on that than
You
they
think?
are. Absolutely.
I think it's fine here too, though.
I mean,
There's the pockets.
We've been bad. Like we've like
Fair.
literally like pummeled people at Fenway and like.
Yes, it's true. I'm saying
So,
I think it's gotten better.
So we're bad, but they're not. I just feel like New York has so much stuff, that they're like
Melting
famous
pot.
for too. Like, oh, we got hip hop, we got
Yeah.
this, and we got that. Like they're not. They're like the Knicks are cool and they love them, but they're not out here like swinging in the streets over it.
Yeah. All right. That's
But
fair.
all we have is like our sports.
Yeah, here. A lot different in this
That's all
city.
we got is our sports.
I went to Yankees Red Sox like back when I was in college, and we were sitting in the bleachers in Old Yankee Stadium, or New Yankee Stadium, I'm sorry. And my boy that was wearing an Ortiz jersey, it got like sketchy out there. So that's where I think of like Yankees fans are worse because security had to come up. They're like, look, we can't stop them. You either have to leave or you just got to leave. Basically is
Really?
what they said. Yeah.
I wore my jersey to Yankee Stadium. It hasn't been a problem.
All right, you're sitting in a good section then.
Yeah, maybe that was the section.
I bet it was. I think that's what it was.
Maybe it was the quality.
And
of
he was
people.
minding his own business on that too.
Might have been the quality of people.
Do you hear if you're wearing your Patriots jersey around the city, you still hear about, I hate to bring it up, 07, 11, I'll whisper
Of course. That's they have that.
That's all they got.
They have that, and you can't take it from them.
Right.
And if I was them and I had it, I'd use it.
All right, fair. You'd be petty too,
Yeah,
just like that.
absolutely.
Where were you in 2007, that Super Bowl?
Helmet catch.
Yes, Tyree helmet catch.
I was
08.
I was somewhere with Giants fans. I know that.
Oh.
And I regretted that decision quite heavily. I believe I was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in Atlanta at a house. They were watching at a house.
But you were still watching with Giants fans even though you were in
But
Atlanta?
there are no.
Falcons fans,
Yeah,
because
like
they suck.
Right. Atlanta doesn't have they're very fair weather fans there. So it was a house of Giants fans or people that were rooting for the Giants.
They were rooting for them just because they hate the Patriots.
Yeah,
right?
I should say. When that happened, it was very depressing.
Were you like at least on home turf, like at your house, or like
Nope.
was it in a bar?
No,
a
I
friend's
was
place?
at someone else's house.
At least you could leave quick, I guess.
Yeah, I left.
What about 2011? Did you learn from that, or did you still watch with like Giants fans?
I watched with some Giants fans again. Yeah.
That was the worst because, like, I go back to 04. You see what happens with the Yankees and Sox, right? And then 07, it's a perfect season. It's Eli, it's helmet catch. You're like, all right, that sucks.
I
Like,
don't trust our perfect seasons ever.
right. Like when that happens,
It's
anyone's like, oh,
sketchy.
the 13-0, 14-0. I'm like, stop.
I did not want
lose.
the Celtics to have a perfect season this
Oh
season.
yeah.
I was like, please no, because we have bad luck with perfect seasons.
It goes back to like when you're playing so good all regular season, like, no, you want them to get that adversity. You want them to be challenged. I was big even on like, I wanted Porzingis. Like I was like watching his health. They were sitting him out. And I was like watching his health on that of like what could happen, right? And yeah, it happened in the first round, but like that's what I was holding my breath on of like just keep them ready for the finals, and they did.
Right.
But that's what I think with like the perfect seasons too in the NFL. It's like 12-0, 13-0. You want them to lose.
Yeah.
So, but then you think of like 2011 too. It's like all over again.
Yeah.
And it's just like it sucks because it was Eli.
It was Eli.
It was the Giants again. It was Eli again.
It was very depressing.
It was Gronk with the bad ankle in 2011.
Yeah. And it's like, you just don't like those humps you can't beat. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, that's a mark on the legacy. Is like, we couldn't get past the Giants and Eli.
Yeah, the one thing. Even Brady at the roast, like at the end, he was like, F you Eli, F you New York twice. The only people he can't ever say anything to.
Yeah, because he can't, Eli got two on him. That's crazy.
Yeah. What about, now, I mean, I ask, what about 2008 when the Celtics won the NBA title with Paul Pierce and KG? Where were you for that? Let's talk good now.
I was in Atlanta at ESPN Zone.
Oh.
When the ESPN Zone was a thing in Atlanta,
Yeah?
I was at the ESPN Zone in Atlanta watching it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it was all Lakers fans.
Because I guess, what was it? It was February 08, Pats losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then later, spring, summertime, Celtics bounce back and pick Boston back up.
Yeah.
That had to have felt nice then.
Yep. Absolutely.
Were you in Atlanta for 28-3 or were you in New York City at that time?
Oh, no. I was in LA.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can't even rub it in the Atlanta fans then.
They were Atlanta fans there too.
Surprising enough in LA, I guess.
Yeah, everybody was going for Atlanta. At that point, it was the black team versus the white team, you know?
Yeah, fair, I guess, on that point. And you're like the one like black fan of the Patriots at that point. They're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Blink twice if you're all right. If you need to be saved, right?
Exactly.